You don't need perfect conditions to win. So if we can all be honest, let's just admit the fact that life isn't always fair. Like, let's just admit the fact that there are certain individuals, certain groups who have privilege that other people don't have, right? I mean, we can always get into this back and forth thing about, everyone has an equal opportunity of winning, but we know that that is not the case. I literally saw a video where a gentleman was demonstrating what privilege looked like just by asking questions like, did you grow up in a two-parent home? Did you go to private school? Did you have to worry about getting student loans, right? And so the truth is, the truth is that everybody doesn't have the same starting point. There are some people who have it easier. There are some people who have more support. There are some people who have more money. There are like some people who know more people. But at the end of the day, even if you feel like you started out a little behind, like even if you feel like, listen, my childhood was traumatic. I grew up this way. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, once you become an adult, once you are in a position to make better decisions, it's time for you to make better decisions. Like, at some point, you've got to let go of the life is not fair piece and be intentional about designing the life that you want. And so I was thinking about positive momentum and negative momentum, and how sometimes it can feel like you are literally doing every single thing you know to do, but you're still not winning. And trust me when I say I know what that feels like, especially in business. My first 5 years were rocky. I would get a big win and then not have a win for several months. And it was frustrating. And I was paying for masterminds, and I was paying for courses, and I was attending conferences. And I'm like, when am I going to get the return on my investment? But I had to come to a place where I had to stop allowing myself or giving myself permission to be a victim of my circumstances and decide like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Winning is our only option. And so if you get to a place where you're feeling like nothing is working, where you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed, I need you to pause and reframe. I need you to take a step back. And instead of saying like, why is this happening? Or why is this not working? I need you to ask yourself, what opportunity is embedded in this challenge that I'm experiencing? So when I'm going for things and I'm hearing, oh, we decided to go in another direction, it's so easy. It's so easy for me to look at myself and say, what is going on with me? Why am I not being selected? Why am I not getting the results that I want to get? But I always pause, and I first and foremost remind myself of all of my wins. And this is something I encourage my clients to do. You need to remember your wins. If you don't have a journal in your notes section of your phone that says wins and where you list them out, you're missing out. Because when life gets tough, you need a reminder of who you are. Oh my goodness. When life gets tough, you need a reminder of how brilliant you are. You need a reminder of what you bring to the table. You need to understand that you are valuable, that you are an asset. You need to understand, oh my goodness, that winning is in your bloodline. And so I need you to ask yourself, what opportunity is embedded in this challenge? Right? Maybe you had something pop up, some kind of bill, and you're like, how am I going to get through this? Right? The opportunity is that you get to leverage your problem solving ability and figure this out. Because there is a solution to every challenge. Someone somewhere has struggled with what you're struggling with. They had the same hand, or maybe even a worse hand than what you've been dealt, and they came out on top. And so you've got to remind yourself, oh my goodness, that you are a conqueror. You've got to remind yourself that there is no problem, no challenge, no setback that can stop you from getting the results that you desire to get. And so when you get to that place of where you're saying, you know what, I'm going to be honest about where I am, but I refuse to give up, like that's when you win. And so I need you to get honest about where you are, but I don't need you to get stuck in that. Don't sit in your despair. You've got to get up. You've got to develop a plan. And listen, you might not even understand what the full plan is, but you can decide one step that you will take to get closer to where you desire to be. You can at least come up with one small win. I need you to audit your time, audit your thoughts, like audit your actions. What am I doing? How am I maximizing the resources that I already have? Oh my. Ask yourself this question. Am I consistently doing the right things, or am I finding myself allowing myself to go into the downward spiral and I'm just sitting there in despair? Oh my goodness. I'm just going to sit in this feeling of discouragement. I'm going to sit in this feeling of rejection, and I'm not going to pick myself up and make a move. Listen, it's time for you to pick yourself up and make a move. You being depressed is not going to change your situation. You being depressed is not going to get you the results you desire. And so in order to win, you've got to first work on your energy level. You've got to first work on your mood. You got to first work on your mindset so that you can pull yourself out of that situation. Listen, you are never in too deep to get out. You're talking to somebody. You're listening to somebody who was $40,000 in credit card debt. Okay. And I pulled myself out of it. You're listening to somebody who was in a physically abusive relationship for 6 years, and I pulled myself out of it. Did it take time? Absolutely. You're listening to somebody who struggled with low self-confidence. I pulled myself out, and you can do the same thing. And so I need you to understand that your positive momentum begins with small wins. It's a decision. It's making a decision to pick yourself up. It is making a decision to not have a pity party. It is making a decision to stack small wins daily. Listen, many of you are spending so much time and effort into getting a huge win that you're neglecting some of the small wins that are like right there in front of you. You're so busy looking at what someone is not doing or the person who is not supporting you that you don't even realize the gold mine that you have right in front of you because you're so stressed you don't even see it. You haven't even taken the time to sit and be creative. Have you taken the time to sit and problem solve? Have you taken the time to sit and add up all of your wins, all of your resources? Like there is somebody out there who is willing to help you. There is somebody out there who is willing to help you. But for many of you, and I'm the same way, right? You don't want to ask for help. And you got to stop being so strong that you're not positioning yourself to win. Listen, teams win. It's not an always, what can I do? What do I need to do? Like, who can you bring on board to support you, to get you to your win quicker? Right? So don't minimize small beginnings. What is one thing you can do today? Like, can you make a phone call? Can you send an email? Like, what can you do to get yourself closer to your goals? And then instead of focusing on what you don't have, I need you to leverage what you do have. Today, I want to challenge you to play the hand you've been dealt like a pro. And sometimes the hand that we've been dealt, it feels heavy. Sometimes the hand we've been dealt, it feels unfair. Sometimes we're sitting around, we're watching other people and we're thinking, wow, they've got it easy. But listen, you don't know. You don't know how many nights they tossed and turned. You don't know how many rejections they've experienced. You don't know how much money, time, effort, and tears they've invested in order to get to where they are. So stop just looking at people's highlight reels and comparing yourself to their highlight reels. I need you to turn that focus inward and figure out how you can become a better version of you every single day. I need you to be working on becoming a better version of yourself. I need you to stop saying, like, I don't want all of these problems or all of these challenges, but I need you to start saying, God, make me the person who can handle this with ease. Oh, my. Your power does not come from outside circumstances. It comes from within. And it comes from you choosing to leverage what you already have to win. You don't need a new hand. You just need to maximize the hand that you've been dealt. Listen, it's your time. It's your turn. It's your season of winning. Listen, winning is your only option. Let's go.